Check out the studs and lug nuts from the last video. I finished them up, put the hub assembly back on, put the rotor back on, and everything went well. Mind the leaky transmission. Somehow I ended up missing the bucket overnight, so it made just a little bit of a mess, but we'll get that cleaned up in a minute. But let's get to some working. Alright, so I was going to go ahead and put the brake calipers back on, but these brake pads are looking just a tad bit worn out, so I'm going to go ahead and get some new brake pads while I have the calipers off anyways. Let's see what we got here. First of all, got a timing pointer so we can verify timing for once. That'll bolt onto the front of the harmonic balancer and we'll be able to double check and make sure that the timing is correct. And got the radiator in. It's actually the exact same setup from the one we had before. The one that's all accordion now. Exact same one. We just need to modify it a little bit to make it fit. I'm gonna have to cut that off. Cut off this inlet and outlet. Because we run everything AN hose, we're gonna have to go ahead and make a hole and just weld this little puppy on this. I usually have one here, one at the bottom there. Something a little bit different this time around. We're not gonna run this cap. I'm gonna go ahead and weld that shut. Instead, I'm gonna run a AN line from here all the way to the top. We're gonna run a coolant expansion tank either on this side or that side. Put our coolant pressure sensor and run our steam vent hose to keep everything there. That way it's a little easier to bleed. The way this sets up in the car, it's actually a lot lower than the engine is. What's up, big guy? What's up? We got some cutting to do on this thing, and then I'm gonna have to find somebody to help me out and get that welded for me. One thing I wish I would learn how to do is weld, because it would make things easier for me. On top of that, we've got some more miscellaneous fittings that I've ordered. New hose ends for our fuel lines. We got a 4AN adapter, gasket kit for our Harley intake. So just a couple things that I've ordered so far. More stuff still on its way to get this car back on the road. If I remember the last time we opened these up, the seals looked alright, but I think we're gonna have to go ahead and get some new seals coming, because I suspect that these are probably just a little bit worn out. Let's open this bad boy up and check it out. I'm gonna try to leave this line on here because I'm gonna end up forgetting what this goes to, so we're gonna leave the AN line on there. It doesn't have a big spring in it, so it's not gonna pop up that bad, but still, there's still some pressure in there. I can't imagine the guys who do this that run like 20-pound springs or whatever. I think I had, originally when I first started messing with the wastegate on the car, I originally had like, I think 8-pound springs, and they were so hard to get. I know you have to use a vise, but yeah, difficult. So right off the bat, there's some aluminum shavings down there, the diaphragm, but I suspect that the diaphragm's probably gonna be pretty worn out. These are 50mm wastegates that we use to control boost with, and so far they've been good to me. We still have a boost swing issue. What we command versus what we actually get is a little bit different, and it seems to amplify the further we push it. But I'm not entirely sure if that's a PID issue or if we have some other underlying issue that I don't know about. But we do have it somewhat under control because we do understand where the swing is at. If I command at a lower level, if I command say 18, I know I'll see 22. We always account for it, but it's just one of those things, one of those quirks on the car. Like I said, I don't really know how to solve it. I thought doing a bigger wastegate would solve it. It helped, but it didn't solve it. So maybe some experts out there, if you can chime in, if you know a solution to that, or what I should look at, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Alright, I got all the set screws out. Come on. There it is. Not horrible. You could definitely see that there's like material, aluminum material gathered on the edges, and that's what usually starts tearing at it. I'm gonna go ahead and probably just buy another one. It's good to keep these in spares anyways, so yeah, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and buy another set. Yeah, no issues there. Everything's looking good on that thing. So let's put this one to the side. There it is. These will become good spares. These are good, viable spares that I'm gonna keep with me all the time at the track in case we ever need them. Because I have gone through this where it ran out, where it wore out at the track, and we were having crazy amount of CO2 loss, and yeah, that is not good when you're trying to race. I've had this Mazir water pump on there for, oh man, forever, since we built the LSX motor. I got it off of Craigslist back in the day, and I got it really, really cheap. I couldn't pass it up, and it's been a good water pump. I fully expected it not to work. It's been a good water pump for a while, but lately I've noticed that the car's just running a little bit hotter than it usually does during the summer. And I've also noticed that while trying to get this thing to circulate when I put water in the radiator, there's not a ton of water movement. We're gonna get things cleaned up as we put them back together, but I really want to take this thing apart and take a peek and see how it functions. Maybe we can put some power to it and see what it does. I think it comes apart here. I'm not sure what these bolts are for. Well, you could probably take it apart. Let's take this off first and see what we can see down there. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut this off because it's about to get rowdy. Alright, so I figured it out. The 4 bolts have to come off. This little magnet piece. And yeah, all of it right there. So we can't put power to it like that. We're gonna have to put it back together. But definitely not, because those pieces came out. What in the hell? I don't think you're supposed to take this cap off. They're spring activated. Interesting. The water pump, I think I may have pretty much ruined it. If you ever take one of these electric water pumps off, don't take the cap off. So it's got these little metal rods on springs. See that? And when you take the cap off of it, yeah, it's toast. Well, that one's trying to escape because they're all pushing on each other. So I don't know how I'm gonna hold it. How I'm gonna hold all of these down. Is there a way to lock them? No. Okay, that's cool. This one's trying to come completely out. That's not gonna be any fun. Leave these alone, people. Leave them alone. Don't take these caps off, whatever you do. Spent a lot more time on that than I should have, but I got more parts to order on Monday. We'll get those coming. We'll do some more videos and go from there. For now, I'm gonna go inside. I don't want to work on that anymore.